On the alcohol one, just about 18 months ago, something clicked in me, and I was like, I just don't want this anymore. To me, it wasn't like, oh, I'll try a month and it'll be hard, and I'll cheat one day when I'm at a business dinner, and it was just like, no, this is preventing me from reaching my potential. And so when at some point you realize, some people realize that that alcohol basically just drains your capacity. So if you want to, you're operating for a period of time. It's not even just the next day. Maybe it could be the next 3 days. If your battery is, when you're at your best, at 100%, you're just living your life at 50%. It disconnects you from yourself. It disrupts your nervous system. It disrupts your sleep. The science around it is incredibly clear. The thing is that it's so socially validated and socially accepted that people think that it's hard. But if you just looked at it objectively without the social inertia around it, it's like, oh, like this is obvious. Like, I will have sparkling water with lime, please. So no judgment around anyone who drinks alcohol. I did for a majority of my life, but I think that challenging right? There was a time where like 50% of people smoked cigarettes, right? I think now it's like 8%, right? It's just like things change, right? And being able to challenge, why do we do certain things, whether it's in business and life and relationships, to challenge them and say, but I know other people do this and it's socially accepted, but what is right for me, right? Let me choose for myself what this means to me.
I had a Gen Zer on our team that was 23, and I started asking him questions about alcohol, and he was like, none of my friends drink, because he's a high performer and all his friends are what I assume are high performers. He's like, none of my friends drink. I was like, oh my God, there's a new generation coming with a completely different mindset, right, of what's important. But I want to get into ENCODED. So for everyone listening, I met Chris about 9 months ago when you were giving me some really good strategic advice at a pivotal time in my business. So firstly, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Happy to help.
And I want to learn about, for those that don't know, tell us about ENCODED, and then actually just tell us about the journey to launch this. Like, why did you feel compelled to launch this?
Cool. Yeah, let's cover a little bit about what it is first, okay? So when I started my first business, Refine Labs, right? I started talking about demand gen. And that term in 2017, 18 was not well defined. So everyone was talking about it. There were some job titles about it, but no one really knew what it meant. And I'm doing the same thing now, right? So we call it frequency training. A lot of people have a preconceived assumption around what frequency is. It's mystical, it's spiritual, things like that. So what we've done is defined it in a way that is entirely scientifically grounded, with a framework that people can use and implement in a way that is entirely not mystical or anything. I view it equivalent at this point to exercise, to going to college, to having an IQ, right? So I think that's the level that we're trying to play at here. So how do we define frequency? We define frequency as your subconscious foundation that drives the capacity of your nervous system before you start thinking or doing anything. And the way that it works is that we have ingrained neural pathways in our mind.